Do you have enough money? Do you want more? Are you worried about going broke? I figure most people are interested in money, so I want to make a game about money. If I say managing money, of course it sounds boring. So I will make it about spending money. Spending money is fun. Everyone would want to play a game about spending money. The goal of the game would be to figure out how much money you can spend in different scenarios. I will include a disclaimer that this is in no way financial advice. This really is just a game made for fun and not to be taken seriously. Go see a real financial advisor if you're looking for advice. In order to make the game, I need to take a bunch of things into account. I think I need to have the answers to these questions to make the game. How to do basic financial planning? Will I outlive my money? How long will I live? What are the risks? How much should I save? What will happen in the future? How should I allocate my savings? How do I compare the present to the future? How much can I bequeath? The goal of the game would be to take all this into account for a situation and then figure out how to spend the most money. Have you ever met with a financial advisor? They will often tell you how much money to save. Or have you used an online calculator to do a budgeting? They will normally ask you how much you want to spend and then calculate how much you need to save. Have you done calculations for retirement savings perhaps? Some of those calculators will tell you how long your money will last. You put in your particulars, and the calculators will tell you how much your nest egg will grow over time. Your wealth typically will peak at retirement, and then you will start drawing it down to zero, hoping that you do not go broke. These calculators assume that you have some spending in mind and that you can just type in a number, as if you know exactly how much you can spend or are going to need to spend for the rest of your life. This is totally unrealistic to me. For example, take a look at this calculator which simulates different probabilities for the future you. It graphs the best case and the worst case scenario and some percentiles in between. The calculation is based on the hypothetical stock market performance of your 401k or IRA or whatever savings you have. But the spread is so huge. I do not find this very helpful at all because anything could happen. For example, if you take the future person on the green line, is that person really going to have over $2 million and then just let it keep riding up to $4 million? I do not know anyone like this. Any reasonable person would start to spend it long before it grew to be that big of a number. In fact, the person on the green line who hit the stock market jackpot would probably retire early and then start to follow the blue line. They would just not keep saving forever. Or take the unlucky 10th percentile person on the red line. Would they really retire at age 67 and then spend all their money to go broke at age 76? Or would they work a few more years and save some more money and try to improve their situation? Maybe they won't be able to get up to the blue line, but certainly they would not just keep spending the same amount every year without doing something. So I think the game should update based on the situation that the person is in. A reasonable person would choose the best yearly spending budget, trying for an approximately constant spending every year, and they would choose their asset allocation, how to manage their savings, to maximize the benefit and minimize their risk. These simple calculators are not at all dynamic, but I think a game could be much more dynamic to capture this. I am imagining my game to have a control panel with the critical information to make a decision. The situation would include things like the age, salary, and wealth of the person of interest. We could assign the player a random person of interest and see how they do to manage that person's life. There would need to be some macroeconomic models of different kinds of assets for the players to choose, and a future probability of career growth and expected lifespan based on the actuary tables. In the bottom left of the control panel, I have here listed some of the decisions the player would need to make. The primary one would be how much money to spend each year. For example, taking into account the bare minimum subsistence spending. Then the financial simulation part of the game would churn the numbers and give some probability distributions for different things like the lifespan, the retirement age, and possible amount to bequest. And finally, in the bottom right, the game could make some kind of plot showing the spending and wealth graphs that we saw before, but make them more dynamic based on the situation that the theoretical person is in. Most of us only get one chance and one life to live, but in a game like this, you could live many possible lives.